Welcome one and all to another amazing night here in Tranquility.
We absolutely are in for a treat of a match here tonight, no question about it.
And the grenade from Pomku, eliminating everybody on the field.
Now between something as well is going to be applied as a death blossom, and it's going to be huge, fighting three.
The double kill with the Bastion ulti? Alright, I see you guys.
For B-Well, look to find a stick there, finds the stick, they find two with it!
Those who find the picks will save the fight, and they don't really need to save what they've already won.
And Cam with the four-man punch off the map!
Experience tranquility.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Tranquility, where we have a Discord tier matchup here to wrap up Week 4 action. It's Karma versus Exhilaration. My name is Dextron, and tonight I am joined by Delphi. Man, how are you doing?
I'm doing really well. You know, I'm very excited to see some Overwatch played here. Both teams seem to be pretty even in the standings, and, you know, it should be a good night of Overwatch.
Yeah, both teams coming into this one still looking for their first win. Both are -8 in the map differential. Both teams won their one map against Galactic Gibbons, who is playing tonight as well on our B stream, which will start here in a couple minutes against Louisiana Lobsters. But focusing on this one here, like we kind of said, both teams pretty even across the board here. But Delphi, in your position here, if you're one of the coaches for these teams, how are you trying to motivate them to, get ready to go out for this game?
You know, if I was one of the coaches, I'd just be sitting there trying to tell them, take every map like one at a time. We're just going to focus on what we want to focus on right now. You know, these teams have been in the workshop trying to put together some compositions that are going to work for them and really grinding out, different play styles that they can make work. Because obviously it's been a little rough for them to start out here. So, if I'm the coach, is just sitting there saying, don't worry about what's going to happen next. We'll just focus on right now, play the game that we know how to play, and we'll just take it one map at a time.
Absolutely. And, I reached out to both coaches and asked them a couple questions. I asked them, how are they feeling going this week? How confident are they? And both of them basically said the same thing. Both said that they feel really good and confident going into the matchup here tonight. So even with being 0-3, I mean, still a decent amount of weeks to go here. Maybe this is the series that each kind of coach is looking for to maybe turn the season around.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is a very big one to go into if you're both of these teams, because you're going up against another team that has a similar record to you. You both have only taken one map, and it's from the same team. It doesn't really get more even than that, so there's a really good chance that both these teams are going into it with a good idea that they're going to be able to take it. But I think we're going to see some really good Overwatch here, and I'm really looking forward to see how these teams kind of turn their previous weeks into a win here.
Absolutely, but looks like the teams are getting ready here. We do know what our first map of the night will be. We're going to be heading to the push map of Colosseo. Delphi, what should we honestly expect here on Colosseum?
Both teams said that they've been working on their brawl from last week into this week, so I think we'll probably see a little bit of an Orisa comp coming out, maybe some of that Sojourn, maybe Bap Lucio. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if both teams ran a mirror here and just try to run it down. It's really going to come down to who can macro the other team better, especially in these mirror compositions. It really just comes down to who understands the comp better and how they rotate their cooldowns better.
Yeah, absolutely, and like you kind of mentioned there, again, both coaches said they kind of like to run a brawl comp. Karma, Coach Formless, said they like to run a little bit of a faster Orisa brawl, so maybe we do see a Lucio come out from their side. However, on the other side, J-Star for Exhilaration told me that they basically really have only been working on a brawl or a rush comp, so maybe we see a Junker Queen come out from Exhilaration.
Yeah, I think a Queen comp could do really well against that Orisa comp. if they just play their tempo right. You know, if they're forced with their shout, if their shout gets forced early, they really have to back up. They can't super commit, but they also have to stop getting, you know, they have to prevent themselves from getting hit with pre-fight poke a ton, especially if they're up against a Sojourn or a Soldier. So it's the Junker Queen comp is really going to come down to cooldown management and that ebb and flow going into these fights. Now we are about to start here. 20 seconds. It looks like we have a Zarya on either side. Definitely not what either one of us was predicting, but I think with the new buff, she could be a pretty strong tank here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Exhilaration's showing us potentially the Life Weaver here. I feel like that. Oh, never mind.
Oh, never mind.
Casters cursed it there. They were just waiting for me to say it.
Yeah, Exhilaration on the Sojourn. You'd think they want to play a little bit slower up against this this Reaper here coming out from Karma. You know, Karma realistically should just run it straight down mid into the Exhilaration backline, but we'll see how each team takes their fight here as they start to head towards that robot in the center.
Yeah, and I feel like the Reaper pick here for Stop You might kind of change here very quickly if they do not find a lot of value with it. I really think they're expecting to see an Orisa on the other side, maybe another big target like a Bastion as well, try to get a lot of value out of it. But you already see the Immortality Field coming out here from Dougie on Karma. You do see Panic get rid of it there, but first pick going over here to Nemo, and they find Soldier there, or they find Player there. Now, look what that does here to Exhilaration. Already kind of falling back, Stop You getting a couple good shots there on the Panic though.
Yeah, once you lose that Sojourn, the fight is pretty much a wipe at that point, because that's most of your damage outside of that Zarya. You know, the Mei is there to slow people and use the walls, but we also have some right clicks coming in from Panic here on the right side, so now they should be back even. The Sojourn should be back soon, and I think Exhilaration will be able to turn this fight, and it looks like they will.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to there, especially with finding Stop You. Key Lime's first one to fall there for Karma was actually a player that their coach told us that we should watch out for tonight, but they did say they do love to be very aggressive on the Lucio, and that's probably what got them punished there. Player coming back into the fight, gonna take out no way around, and Exhilaration now will get some distance on this bot.
Yeah, that was really well played from Exhilaration, being able to back up and just stabilize. If I'm Karma, I probably want to keep pressing there after I get the kill on the Sojourn and just walk right in, like keep just committing to killing their tank or going under their Baptiste. But instead, they kind of slowed down around the pillars, and that gave Karma that gave Exhilaration the time to just relax and stabilize, and they came back and won the fight.
Blizzard coming out here from Neo to get started. Blizzard actually coming out from both sides. Beat coming out from Exhilaration. The grab coming out here from Impact. Ultimates coming out left and right. No one dead, though. Each team doing a good job to keep everyone alive. Panic will fall, but Key Limes, again, being a little bit over-aggressive. They're falling as well to Impact. Amp Matrix coming out here from Dougie as they try to get as much damage through, trying to find Impact, who immediately gets melted as they walk right in front of that Amp Matrix. Now no way around, going to be able to take care of Knowles there, and you see everyone on Exhilaration just falling back.
Yeah, that fight right there was basically just a war of attrition. You know, both teams used 3 ultimates there, both Graviton Surges, both Mei ults. You know, the beat was invested by Exhilaration, so they're not going to have that coming in with this Reaper ult, and also Karma can use a beat to engage, but we'll see how much Exhilaration is going to push with their tempo. They've already been out-tempoing Karma here, and it looks like they're not going to slow down just yet.
Overclock will not find anyone, but Player will be able to find Key there at the end, but the damage pretty much already done before that there, as they lost No Way Around and Dougie, but Nemo all the way back at spawn. Stop You able to get themselves out of that one, still holding on to a Blossom here, and without a beat, I mean, Stop You could make this a very deadly Blossom.
Yeah, entirely. All he has to do is TP in the back line. You know, that Blossom will go right through the Immortality. Even if he gets just the BAP, the Zarya should be able to fall over right after that, as long as you know, she's not cycling her bubbles well enough. But it looks like this Mei is stuck. Oh, if I'm Panic, I'm panicking there, because that is just a really terrible situation. Oh, we have the TP coming in with the Blossom. There it is. Oh, melted immediately.
Does find one, but Player able to find them there with that railgun shot. No way around, though. Able to shut down Player there. And this has been a very back-and-forth match so far. Each team winning a team fight, immediately taking the bot back, pushing a little bit, and then losing the next team fight here. And really no ultimates coming up for either side. Nemo and No Way Around are really the closest right now.
Yeah, and Nemo's wall there to, you know, block off Panic from returning to the team when Exhilaration was backing up was absolutely massive, and kind of opened the door that Carmen needed to be able to turn the spot around and take the lead here.
Yeah, you immediately see Nemo throwing out the Blizzard here, trying to get anyone they can, but everyone for Exhilaration going to be able to get themselves out of that one. However, Panic falls. Knowles falls as well. This is looking very good right now for Karma here as they're picking up kills. No healers on the field right now for Exhilaration, and everyone else slowly just going to go back to the spawn here. Player trying to run themselves back here, and they're going to be able to keep themselves alive. However, forward spawns might be granted here to Karma with off that teamfight win.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of great tempo from Exhilaration, but Karma just kind of took it there. Once Exhilaration used their, Karma used their freeze just to kind of force them back and was able to turn around and use tempo. And we're opening up with the grab. Karma's just, you know, utilizing all their resources first into the face of Exhilaration, and it's working.
Double grabs coming out from both sides. The Blizzard does come out from Panic, but they don't find anyone there. And finally, Karma gets those forward spawns. They forgot to actually continue pushing the bot there. However, at the end, it doesn't necessarily matter as they are being very aggressive right now. And Exhilaration just trying to get something to go their way, and they're not necessarily finding anything yet.
Yeah, these walls by Nemo are absolutely massive. That's probably the turning point for their team right now, is just being able to wall them off. A player does get that exit frag on Stop You, so that's a lot of frontline pressure that they're not going to have when when Exhilaration walks back out of spawn. So it wouldn't surprise me if Exhilaration does end up taking this fight. They do have a few ults to play with. Karma really only has the window, and they do have a Blossom coming up. But I think Exhilaration, without having that Reaper, will be able to take the fight here. But they did swap over to a Hanzo, which is an interesting pick. We'll see how they utilize that here.
Key Limes invested the beat into that last fight there, as you see the Ambit just coming out here from Dougie, but then immediately getting melted there by Knowles. Overclock coming out from Player, finds Key Limes there, so no supports on the field for Karma. Panic able to find Stop You. Impact winning the Zarya battle at the moment there, but Nemo, last one alive, means they'll be the last one sent back to spawn here, but they're just trying to bait out some time here, allow everyone else on their team to respawn. Panic going to be able to take them out there, and finally, Exhilaration back in control of the bot here.
Yeah, you know, Exhilaration was kind of on their back foot there. They were pushed up against the wall, and that's the fight they needed to win. They used the overclock, they used the beat. They're going to have a window coming up here, but it'll be interesting to see if they're able to take this next fight. Karma coming in with the grab, the Blossom, the freeze. I think Karma might have this if they play it right, but, you know, Exhilaration is going to start that tempo again by using the window early.
And Nemo able to find an early pick. Here comes a grab from No Way Around. The Blizzard also come out. Every ultimate coming out here for Karma. They find 3 already. Actually 4. A player, again, able to get themselves out of harm's way now. But now they're in a very peculiar spot where they have to go 1v1 against Stop You. The ball coming out on them, and player going to be staggered out here.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be happy about that fight if I was Karma. Yeah, we won it. Yeah, we're in the lead, but they're not going to have any ultimate coming into this fight. Exhilaration, you know, they're low on ults, but they're going to hit them first, especially the DPS ults and Impact's Graviton Surge. You know, if I'm Karma, as long as I'm ult tracking, then I'm a little comfortable with that. But if I'm not ult tracking, then I'm just worried that we're not going to be able to win a fight here.
Yeah, absolutely. Fight commencing now. Really no ultimates ready for either side. Panic can get the Dragon Strike here incredibly fast. Immortality Field already gone here for Exhilaration. So is Capybara Man as Nemo able to find their Dragon Strike coming out here from Panic. No Way Around finds player. The Dragon Strike, though, does find Dougie, so one support and the main support there for Karma out. However, everyone else picking up the slack, but you see Knowles knows here, just kind of trying to back cap, take that bot away. However, at the end of the day, Knowles knows they are nowhere. They have nowhere really to go here.
That stall by Knowles is actually so massive, because if he doesn't take that bot back, Karma just captures it right there, but instead it gave his entire team the time to respawn and come back out and get these kills and recontest. That was actually like a map-saving play, just stalling out that point.
It was, but you see the beat coming out there from Key a little bit too late to save Nemo. However, 100% on that beam right now for Zarya as player pops their overclock here. They do find Stop You as it expires, but that is still another huge pick. Getting rid of that Reaper has been a good thing for them, and they find Dougie right after that. Now, Karma here, looking like they're just going to jump off the map here, regroup in spawn, or at least Key is going to be the one jumping off the map here.
Yeah, I think Exhilaration is getting a little frustrated here. They're running the Soj now, and on the Junkrat, I think they're probably just thinking more spam damage or something like that with the Sojourn down these long corridors. Junkrat just spamming in. You know, I think the No Way Around is going to be really high charge with this Junkrat, but maybe it'll get them a pick on a squishing the side, like they almost just got on that Reaper.
Grab Immortality Field coming out. This is going to be a lot of damage coming through her. The only person getting a kill in the kill feed right now is player, finding an early pick there on to Stop You. The Immortality Field and the grab not finding any value there, but No Way Around going to be able to find Panic after the fact. Now the Immortality Field coming out from Capybara Man, who's trying to do whatever they can in that backline. It's just mostly healing, and they're doing a good job of it so far. Impact trying to do whatever they can, but here comes a Blizzard from Nemo. They're going to be able to get Nulls here. Frozen, Impact Frozen as well. Player, though, again, they've been kind of a dead-eye with these railguns here, kind of keeping their team in fights or at least slowing down some fights.
Yeah, these fights have been extremely scrappy on the side of both teams, but Karma's just slightly more coordinated when it comes to their cooldown usage and prioritizing their targets. So they're coming out on top a little bit, but Exhilaration is definitely making it sloppy for them. So it's harder for them to clean it up cleanly in order to push the bot all the way to the end. It looks like Exhilaration is going to be able to push a little bit more here.
Yeah, but with 35 seconds left to go on the clock, Exhilaration needs to win multiple team fights in a row here, and they are coming up on a ton of ultimates, but again, Stop You has a Blossom coming up here, and really nothing that can cancel out, maybe other than a grab or a nice railgun shot from Player.
Yeah, I think this Blossom is going to be kind of the key factor on if Karma caps here or not. Here it comes out. They do get the Zarya, which is huge, but is traded by Player. And Player popping off in the back line.
Player getting rid of the Immortality Field, the Riptire coming out will find Nemo there. And this is exactly what Exhilaration needed. However, maybe it's a little bit too expensive there. As you use 3 big ultimates, yeah, you won the fight, and you are coming up on an Amp Matrix, but you still have a long time to go here, and Karma is coming up on a lot of their ultimates.
Yeah, I think that those ultimates were necessary to win. Maybe not the tire, but, you know, like you said, they're coming up in the window, but there's really nothing else. All Karma has to do is beat in, get the window mid-fight, and they should be able to clean up the backline of Exhilaration. But Player goes down early from a well-timed shot from Nemo, but Panic gets the pick on the Baptiste, which is massive. That's a huge chunk of healing that Karma's not going to have this fight.
Nemo would take care of Nulls there. Panic still in the backline there, but everyone else for their team is kind of falling around them. Panic will eventually fall. The grab coming out to seal the deal here on Coliseo. Karma going to be able to take the first map of the night.
Yeah, that was really well played by Karma there. It seemed like their ult usage was a little bit better. There was a few times where they overcommitted their ults, but you know, they had really good ult rotations, and also Nemo on that Mei was finding early picks a majority of the fights with those right-click headshots, which was absolutely massive when you're trying to just walk into a team and brawl them out. So really well played by Nemo, and you know, no way around. Just was, you know, their Zarya was just really high charged the entire time as well. So that's so much damage, especially with your Mei hitting those right clicks. Just overall, you know, Karma definitely deserved that win there.
Yeah, and, you know, you're talking about the right clicks there, but also the ice walls were huge, able to section off a lot of players there for Exhilaration away from their team, get early picks that way as well. But you have to give a lot of credit there to Player. One of the other players that, for the coach for Exhilaration, said that we had kind of to be on lookout for tonight, said they are very high pop-off potential, and throughout that entire map there, I feel like they kind of popped off almost every team fight that they necessarily needed to win to keep the map alive, but at the end, it was just those couple team fights in a row that Karma was able to win that really won them that map, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's the thing about these comps now in the current season of Overwatch 2 is that you can't really rely on one person to just carry your weight, because the rest of the team needs to be able to follow up on that. So it doesn't matter if you kill 4 if one Zarya is high charge and kills everybody else in the team. So you really do need the rest of the team to stabilize and use their cooldowns efficiently, especially if you're trying to rely off of one player being able to you know, seek their pop-off potential and just get the entry picks that you need, like we were seeing from Nemo on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, both teams kind of talked about that they really liked playing a brawl comp there. The Zarya comp came out, and not necessarily expecting it either way, but we do know what our second map of the night will be. We're going to be heading to the hybrid map of Eichenwald here. Now, Delphi, again, what do you necessarily expect to see on this one? Because I feel like you can play a lot of different comps, and it really depends on what point you're trying to get to.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much variety that you can play on Ike. You can play like a dive on attack, like a D.Va or a Ball or a Winston. You know, you could just run like a Ram or a Ryan and run it straight up, or you could, you know, run that Zarya as well. I think from both teams, just based off of how they were preparing for this week, they will end up running just that Zarya Brawl comp. It seems to be what both of them are comfortable on. Neither one of them swapped off the Zarya at all on the last map. But, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw an Orisa or a Ramattra or even a Sigma on the defensive side of things here, just depending on how they want to play around the other team's Brawl.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen Orissa's come out here. I've seen a Jungle Queen come out here. I don't necessarily think that was something that would work again, but maybe if a team is very specialized with that, or they have a character or a player on the team who is a Jungle Queen main, maybe they can get the Rush comp to work here. But I do feel like we're going to probably end up seeing the Orisa comp come out from one or both sides, and honestly, it's really going to come down to, do you see the other side, or whoever loses the first team fight, do they switch over to a Zarya comp to try to counter it, or do they just try to mirror the Orisa comp?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, kind of how they react to what the other team is going to be playing. I think Orisa defense first point, being able to take those off angles with something like a Sojourn or a Soldier, even an Illari on defense, would just kind of ruin the Zarya Brawl comp that both teams look like they were going to want to play. If you take those off angles and poke them out on their rotations, by the time that they're able to get into your team to brawl, all their resources are going to be used, maybe an Immortality or a BAP left shift, even Amp at that point. A lot of the support utility is going to be used, and they're not going to have that when it comes down to actually having that brawl on point, if you have the proper off angle and your team is able to live before they get to that point. So it'll be really interesting to see what comps they run, and I'm actually really excited for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I am too. I feel like there's a lot of different comps you can come out with on this first point if you're wanting to attack. Not biased at all, but you could play a little bit of a sim here and just try to TP through the choke point. But I feel like that's kind of starting to fall off, especially as tanks like Zarya and Orisa are coming back into the mainstay now. But again, Exhilaration showing us that they want to run that exact same comp they basically came out with on Colosseo.
Yeah, and they're running the Lucio Lifeweaver, which I'm not sure if this is a troll or not, but it's kind of interesting because, Lifeweaver did get a few buffs, and he does have some decent healing now, but, it's not like you have many people on your team that are going to be out of position you'll need that grip for. And also on point 1, there's not really a ton of high ground to abuse here, so the pedal might not be that useful either. Honestly, I think a Lifeweaver's second point might be more important, but it'll be interesting to see how they use it. Karma using that Ramattra defensive comp. They have the Illari and the Sojourn. Hopefully they're going to be taking some off angles and poking out Exhilaration as they're walking in. Exhilaration does change over to the Baptiste, so it looks like they were just baiting us a little bit.
Yeah, they did the same thing to us in the first map. I wasn't expecting to see it happen here. But Nemo coming out on a Soldier in here. Remember, they played Mei majority of the first map, or primarily on the first map. Now you see Panic coming out on the Mei here. So it's going to be interesting to see how Karma tries to deal with a Mei here when they don't have one of their own. No way around. Already going into the Nemesis mode there. Already getting kind of chunked down there. You see a lot of utility come out there to keep them alive, stop you having to wraith yourself out of that fight there. As everyone for Exhilaration is kind of right there. Immortality field down and out for both sides at the moment, so nothing that can necessarily save anyone if they go really far in right now. But now it looks like Exhilaration trying to come around the other side of the light tower there, or the clock tower there. Now you see everyone for Exhilaration here on point. No one is still falling yet. Every support here doing a really good job. Ant Mitch is coming out here from Capybara Man. Mostly going to use it to heal up their team as they throw their own Immortality field there again. No way around going to be able to get rid of that, but Key Limes will fall here first, playing the Illari. And remember, their coach said that they do like to be a little bit aggressive, but they like to be aggressive on the Lucio here. The Immortality, or Ant Matrix, and Overclock coming out here from Karma. Impact, though, able to shut down. No way around. Dougie Gaming falls right after. Stopio able to pick up one here, but Exhilaration in a really good spot to clean up this fight and cap point 1.
Yeah, we saw that Ant Matrix come out from Nemo there, and Nemo seemed to be playing really well with those Mei right clicks, but I guess a hit scan might not be their best their best role here. They didn't really hit any shots, but it is really hard when someone's AD strafing you right in the face, and hitting those shots can be a little bit difficult. But Exhilaration won that point only using the window, which is an absolutely small investment to win that point, whereas Karma ended up using the Sojourn ult and the window on their side. So Exhilaration, if I'm them, I'm happy. I'd take Castle, go up with a grab or a Mayolt, and just be able to take this point pretty easy.
Grab coming out here from Impact. It captures a lot of members of Karma there. Annihilation coming out from No Way Around to try to keep everyone from Exhilaration down in the bottom of the basement here. Other Castle. Blizzard also comes out, freezes too, and you see everyone here for Karma just falling. Last one alive is Key Limes, but they're going to be taken out there by Capybara Man, and now Exhilaration has a good amount of time here to push this cart for free.
Yeah, they did have to invest the beat there, or else somebody would have died, which you know, isn't too bad. They did use 3 ults for that, but they have the window back, which is fine. But they weren't pushing cart that entire time, so what turned into, you know, 1 more fight territory could be even 2 here if Karma just drops off high ground and contests, and that seems like that is going to be the case.
Got the sun comes out there, only hits Panic, I believe, and they may go into the ice block to keep themselves alive. Immortality Field does come out, but Key Lime's able to get rid of that fast. Panic, Capybara Man, and Player all falling by the wayside here. And this is the kind of team fight that Karma needed after having a couple fights not go their way in kind of struggling fashion.
Yeah, I think Exhilaration would have been in a much better spot if they did end up pushing cart after the fight that they won. You know, you see a lot of teams when they're winning a fight, all 5 of the players are just sitting there trying to kill that last person so they can go back and push cart. But if I'm the Lucio on that player or on that team, as soon as I see that they only have 1 or 2 players left, I'm instantly going back to cart. My team doesn't need me. It's a 4v2, and then I can get some cart progress. We didn't see that here, so Exhilaration does end up losing a fight, and they have to try to make this push all over again.
Overclock coming out from Nemo there. Deathblow comes out from Stop You. They only find 1, but Player's Overclock finds 2, especially with that Amp Matrix right there, helping them deal a lot more damage. Immortality Field down, but Karma already down a couple of players here. You do see Dougie trying to keep themselves alive here, doing a good job at it so far. No way around. We'll find Player there. Key Limes, though, going to be traded out here. And No Way Around, kind of in a bad spot right now with this Ramattra. Yeah, they're in the Nemesis form, but once that goes away, all that extra health goes away. They do have Dougie there, though, to keep him alive, and look at what that does. They are able to find Panic off it. Now, Amp Matrix coming out from Dougie, and this is actually a nice turnaround here for Karma. After what seemed to be almost a fight loss for them, that Baptiste and Ramattra able to keep their team in that fight and allow their teammates to come back.
Yeah, it seemed like Exhilaration didn't even know that that Dougie Gaming was alive. You know, they were all looking at the Ramattra trying to kill him real quick. Meanwhile, Dougie Gaming comes out from the bottom, just keeps the Ramattra up, and Karma did a really good job stabilizing. But Exhilaration does still have 2 ults. They have Grab and Freeze, which, you know, if they get 1 or 2 in there, I think this will be point taken.
Ooh, Panic gets incredibly low there. Here comes the grab. The Annihilation also come out from No Way Around right now. Panic getting very low because of that Annihilation, but you do see No Way Around. Key Limes fall right there. Dougie Gaming, though, able to trade out Panic, at least get rid of 1 person, but they do end up losing themselves there to that Baptiste duel between Capybara Man and now Karma, or Exhilaration here. A lot of free time to push this cart, and they're on the bridge now.
Yeah, but neither team really has ults here. Exhilaration is coming up on a beat in a window, but you know, Karma is coming up on a beat of their own. If I'm Exhilaration, I want to take this quick before either team can get the ults that will just win the fight here.
Yeah, whoever finds the first pick here is going to give themselves a great advantage. No Way Around in a very bad spot there. Panic would be able to take care of them here. Karma now in a very bad spot down their tank. You do not want to see No Way Around be the first one to fall in this fight, but a nice ice wall from Panic really helped them there. Amp Matrix coming out and the beat coming out here for Exhilaration. Look what that Amp Matrix does. Immediately melts down to make it 3 there as Impact able to find Stop You. And point B going to be capped here by Exhilaration.
Yeah, Exhilaration is going to be very happy about that cap. It's so hard, or it's so easy, to get hung up on second point, especially if the other team has somebody on the high ground off angle, like Karma had Stop You on the Sojourn sitting up there. Now Stop You on the Reaper, and they switched over to Orion for this last fight, for this last point. So, you know, maybe they're relying on getting a big shatter here, or just having more frontline pressure.
And Matrix comes out, counted here by the Overclock. Stop You able to find Panic there. The Immortality Field down and out here for Karma. Player, though, still trying to find anyone they can with that Overclock. Not going to be able to find anyone this time. They've been really good with finding ones after the fact there, but not going to be able to do it here again. The Reinhardt doing a lot of work right now. Already up to 95% on it. Shatter Nemo able to find Impact there. Grab coming out from Impact. The beat coming out from Key Limes to keep everyone alive here for Karma. And Exhilaration on the back foot now, trying not to get staggered out. And Dougie going to be able to find Player. Capybara Man. Capybara Man?
He's just tactically resetting, just straight back to spawn, not giving the other team any of that, you know, that ult percentage, just so from those staggers. So honestly, not a terrible idea from that, but it doesn't really matter because Karma has a shatter. They have a Blossom. They're coming up on a freeze. I think Karma is, as long as they cycle their ults well enough, will be able to hold here. But Exhilaration does have a freeze of their own, so it'll be interesting. If they can take tempo, they should be able to walk right in and win this fight.
I'm watching for Panic to use his Blizzard early, and they use it already right there. It does catch Key Limes and Stop. and nothing coming out so far. But as I say that, look at that, 3 members of Karma out. No Way Around able to find player. Nemo next one to fall. No Way Around last one here, trying to get rid of Panic, but not going to be able to, as a lot of support from the rest of Exhilaration came in there to make sure Panic did not fall.
Yeah, if Panic dies there, I think that's the nail in the coffin for Exhilaration. But the fact that Panic was able to stay up, you know, they're going to have a really good fight here. But Karma has all the ultimates in the bank, and Exhilaration really is only coming up on a window and a beat. Nulls needs to get this beat, but I don't think that's going to happen.
4-man shatter into a 3-man blizzard. There's nothing else that Exhilaration could do. It's going to be a team kill, and Karma is going to be able to stop Exhilaration from fully completing Eichenwald.
Yeah, that was a really good hold from Karma. They just had what seemed like better ult rotations than Exhilaration had. You know, Exhilaration was just relying on their Sojourn to get those picks with the overclock through the Emp Matrix, but you know, those were really only the fights that they won is when they were heavily investing, you know, DPS ults, whereas Karma, you know, they had their fights where they won with ultimates, but it seemed like their mid-fight was just a lot more put together. They were able to sustain a little bit better, and when they went into the fights with the ultimates, they just seemed a little bit more prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it's going to be really interesting to see how Karma comes out here and plays on the offensive side. I mean, they tried to play a majority of Ramattra there on defense, swapped over to the Reinhardt there at the end, found a lot of value. I would not be surprised if they decide to say, hey, let's try to run the Rein again, even though I don't think that's necessarily the right call, but looks like that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, you know, I think as long as they can take the quick tempo with the Mei and the Reaper, I think they'll be able to run right over Exhilaration. You know, when Zarya uses one of her bubbles, all the Rein has to do is just hold shield, nobody shoot the bubble, and Zarya really doesn't get any value. So, you know, also the Rein can just shred those bubbles really quick as well. If they force them out early, the Rein just walks over and WM1 into the backline of Exhilaration. You know, I think Exhilaration will do well if they take some kind of off angle with the Sojourn, but they don't really have an assistance like you would normally see if you had an Alari on the defense here. But,
yeah, and you have to remember,
go ahead.
You have to remember the coach for Karma said Formless that they have been trying to play this very quick brawl comp here. While they said it was with the Orisa, you know, playing it with the Reinhardt too is not a bad call either.
Yeah, but if I'm No Way Around, I want a WM1, but you got to be really careful here. You see he's at half health pretty much the whole fight, but he is doing a ton of damage.
Ton of damage, and already almost have a tick right here, even with no one falling, and now No Way Around, knowing there's no ice block for Panic, immediately going after him. However, Nulls knows on point, trying to stall it out as long as they can. They're going to be the next one to fall here, and now the ice wall coming out there to kind of stop Impact in their plays. 3 members there to help take them out, as No Way Around will find player as well. And again, another quick first point here for Karma after Exhilaration had a pretty quick first point.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Exhilaration wants to answer this this quick brawl comp. It might be a little bit easier on second point here, especially because Karma has to push the carts. So depending on who stays, it looks like it's going to be the Reaper. They might have an advantage, but Reaper could just TP straight back up to the high ground from point. So I think it's a really smart call to keep the Reaper on point. Usually it's the Lucio, but Reaper can get up a lot quicker. And it looks like they're still playing for that quick play. Exhilaration just pull out the Far Mercy, though, just for a little bit poke, because they see that Karma doesn't have any answer to that.
Yeah, really the best answer would be Dougie. And I don't know if you want to have your Baptiste kind of focusing up at the sky. And Dougie, first one to fall here, especially with that overclock, or with the Amp Matrix weapon, huge. Nemo next one to fall right after that. No Way Around gets slept there, but might just be smart here to try to get themselves out of this fight without falling.
Yeah, Dougie gets, I don't know if you saw that or not, the Panic used the Pharah boop on Dougie as soon as he jumped up. I don't know why it didn't register as a kill, but it ended up forcing Dougie off of the high ground and over the pit, where he ended up falling to his death. So really good play there. Panic already 88 to Barrage, and they just walked out of spawn.
Yeah, basically they have it ready right now, and still 3 ultimates, almost 4 ready here for Karma. Panic really focusing on Nemo here, stop you. Anti here has to kind of fall back to make sure they don't die here, but again, Panic waiting for a good opportunity here to use this barrage, and here it comes. It falls onto Key Limes there, finds No Way Around, huge one there, and now they're trying to get another boop kill there onto Dougie Gaming. Dougie Gaming trying for the ledge right there, but not gonna be able to find it.
Yeah, Dougie is just magnetically attracted to that well and to that pit right in the center of Eichenwald, and seems to end up in it in the last 2 fights, and hopefully more fights to go forward. But, you know, I think Exhilaration kind of found what they needed. They found that far. There is no answer. Karma did pull out the Soldier, though, so maybe he'll be able to outpoke, but Panic does have nulls on the Mercy, so it's going to be really hard unless you focus that Mercy down first or force her out, and then you can go for the kill on Panic. Karma does have the Shatter here, so they might be able to use it on the front line.
Yeah, but because of how long these teamfights have gone on for, the Shadow does come out, only finds Impact here. Stop you able to find Player as the Valkyrie comes out from Null's nose, but the kills all go in the way of Karma here at the moment. Grab coming out from Impact as they try to get something going here. Not a lot of percentage on that beam. The Valkyrie coming out from Null's nose, trying to be a battle Mercy here, doing a lot of damage, but not going to be able to find Stop You there as they fall down to the low ground. Nemo eventually going to be able to take them out there. And Karma only using 2 ultimates here, looking like they might be able to cap point B.
Yeah, you know, Stop You pulling out the Soldier. Usually it's hard alone to focus a Far Mercy as Soldier, but Stop You does end up getting the pick on Panic early, so it ended up working out in their favor. And I believe that was also a Nano Valk, which you absolutely love to see, especially me as a support player. I love seeing when the Mercy pulls out the Glock with the Nano Boost, but unfortunately they didn't find anything with it.
Blizzard and Ant Matrix coming out here from Karma. Impact the only one found in that Blizzard. They immediately die there. 2 key limes. Nemo, though, will fall to Panic, who makes a swap over to a Junkrat here as they try to do whatever they can to get rid of the shield here for No Way Around. And they do a good job of that now, as there's no shield here for the moment, or a very light shield for No Way Around. Now, Player still holding on this overclock. Stop You, though, popping their visor. Immediately finds Panic here. No Way Around going to shut down Player. A lot of damage coming out here onto point. Impact making this Ramattra switch here, trying to do whatever they can. They're able to get rid of their Immortality Field, but they will not be able to live that charge there from No Way Around. And Capybara Man trying to get into their own spot, not going to be able to. Shatter coming out here from No Way Around will find Panic, and no one from Exhilaration will be able to get back to the cart in time to touch. Karma will take map 2 and goes on to Series Point.
Karma is definitely staying true to their coach's word. They are playing a super quick brawl, and they're playing it very well. You know, you see them just WM1 into the backline of Exhilaration, and Exhilaration haven't been able to find the answer. They did have that Far Mercy, but once they swapped over to that Soldier, it was kind of over for that poke. You can't just kind of play in the skybox and poke out the backline. So it you know, it's very, very difficult for Exhilaration here to find the answer to Karma's speed and initiation, but Karma playing very well going in with these fast brawl comps.
Yeah, absolutely. And like they said, they kind of mentioned that they want to play a fast brawl comp, but they wanted to play that fast brawl comp, or they told us they've been playing it with an Orisa. They swap it up, bring out the Reinhardt, and as there's really no other tank or shield on the other side to stop Shatters coming out, they have found a lot of value with the Shatters. We saw a 4-man, a 3-man, and a 2-man there to end the map there for Karma. So far, they've done a really good job.
Yep, yeah, and you know, we're about to hop right into the break, but if Karma keeps playing as strong as they have been, I think this might be a 3-0, but Exhilaration, they have the time to talk to their coaches, figure out what's going on, and can come back on a new foot and see if they can stop Karma as they're rolling through Exhilaration's backline.
Absolutely, but we are going to take a quick break. Remember, on Tranquility GG2, there is another match of the night between Galactic Gibbons and the Louisiana Lobsters. Hop over there for about 4 minutes, come back here, and we'll be hopping right back into map number 3 of our series. right, welcome back, everyone from that halftime break. Karma, one map win away here from finding their first win of the season. Exhilaration, though, looking to try to bounce back from those first two maps where, in my opinion, it was a really close series all the way through so far. But Karma has just always been able to has always been able to just find an answer to respond to Exhilaration here. Delphi, what have we necessarily seen throughout the first two maps for these two teams?
Yeah, I mean, both teams have been having a lot of back and forth fights. Both are kind of cycling their ults pretty well. I think Karma's using theirs a little bit more efficiently. But as you said, Karma just keeps coming back out on top from both of these previous maps. But we're going into Escort. Not quite sure what map we're going into yet, but it'll be interesting to see what Exhilaration picks. If they're going to pick something that, you know, really helps play into the brawl that they kept trying to pick, or if they play something completely different. And actually, it looks like they want to play something completely different. Exhilaration ends up picking Circuit Royale.
Yeah, and when you hear Circuit Royale, you definitely expect to see a poke comp come out from both sides here, especially this first point here. You're kind of seeing it right now, those long sight lines as you round that first turn there with the F1 car. I mean, long sight lines leads to a good sniper plays that could come out. A Widowmaker, a Hanzo, an Ashe, a Cassidy, something that can, you know, take care of enemies really fast. But even with this Orisa comp coming in, I feel like I've started to see some teams go away from the poke and just try to go hard Orisa brawl. Yeah,
and Circuit's not one of everybody's favorite maps, honestly. If you think of an Escort map that people really don't like, Circuit's usually the first one that comes up. So it's definitely an interesting pick. I think it's a map that a lot of people don't end up practicing, and Exhilaration might end up using that to their favor. If people don't practice Circuit Royale and Exhilaration does in anticipation of picking it, it could work out in their favor. So it'll be interesting to see if Karma wants to run that brawl comp, maybe even a close hold on their defense. But you know, Exhilaration, be interesting to see if they're running their brawl as well, or if they want to play that poke that is favorable on Circuit.
Yeah, I do kind of expect to see a poke come out from both sides here. We haven't seen it from either team so far. We've mostly seen Zarya and Brawl come out from either side here. And Brawl has come out from Karma, and they've found a lot of success with it. Exhilaration has really only primarily ran a Zarya so far. And they've had some success with it, but Karma's Brawl, especially on Eichenwald, seemed to be something that was just able to overpower that the Zarya comp that they were trying to run.
Yeah, and we saw a Pharmercy on Exhilaration on defense for Eichenwald. It'd be interesting to see if they want to run like a Pharmercy going over that first building, or you know, some teams do run a ball comp with a Pharmercy or some type of dive on this first point, because you know, a Sigma comp or a poke comp might not be able to sustain against it if they're not playing their angles well enough. So maybe Exhilaration will pull out that Pharmercy that we saw that seemed to be doing pretty decent on second point Ike.
And you have to remember, Exhilaration, while they've only teased us with that Lifeweaver pick, I mean, you could use that pedal to try to jump over the roof there and get into that backline high ground really fast. And if they do that and have it work out for them, it could be something that immediately changes the entire momentum of not only the map, but of the series, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we are about to go in here into Circuit Royale, so all of our speculation is about to become reality as we see what each team is going to end up playing. Exhilaration teasing that Lifeweaver again, so maybe, maybe not, probably not, but, you know, you never really know.
Yeah, you never do truly know here. But, you know, as we head into Circuit Royale here right now, I mean, again, we expect to see poke comp. I feel like we've kind of been wrong on what we expect to see the teams play on every map. We kind of expected Brawl first map, got Zarya. We kind of expected maybe Brawl second map, but we were half right. But now as we come out here, Karma, definitely coming out with the Brawl comp. But Exhilaration, I think they're definitely teasing us with some of those picks there, but not all of them.
Yeah, I mean, they could run the ball. Like I said, I've seen it myself, and you know, I think a ball could be impactful, but maybe not against a Brawl. I think if they're expecting the Sigma comp, the ball might be useful, but I think Karma's going to play the close hold here with the Mei and the Bastion. You see them all crouch walking around, making sure Exhilaration doesn't hear them. But we'll see if Exhilaration kind of anticipates this. If I'm Exhilaration, I'm anticipating this because Karma's ran nothing but a quick Brawl all night. And, you know, Karma, I think, could potentially full hold here if they played this well enough.
Yeah, but the one thing that Exhilaration has to be ready for is the Bastion, because we have not seen Bastion played all night by either team here, and you immediately see some swaps coming out here from Exhilaration. Panic going over to the Pharah here right now, as you do see Nemo, they're going to the turret farm, trying to get as much damage as they can. Player all the way on the other side of the spawn, they're trying to maybe find one. Stop you, though, is going to be able to find Panic there, and you immediately see what that does here for Karma. They immediately go to the other side. Stop you, able to find Player as well. No way around, able to find Impact there, and already 30 seconds down, and you're seeing some swaps come out here from Exhilaration again.
Yeah, Exhilaration has the right idea of taking the far angles, playing away from them, but Karma is using the amp speed to get into the core of Exhilaration. If they keep doing that well enough, I think they'll be able to have a really good defense here. But, you know, Exhilaration coming out with their equivalent of counters, trying to burn that Rhine shield with the Bastion, but they're just going to play the natural cover. Ooh, and Nemo almost gets low, but it doesn't really matter because he does get healed up, and Karma looks like they're going to wipe again.
Panic, though, able to find Dougie is a huge pick there, especially if they can find another one here. Impact trying to keep themselves alive here, and they will find no way around. So, you know, now Exhilaration has this little bit of a momentum here. The knife coming out there to pull Nemo back, but they will find Null's nose there, right there. But, however, Panic will be able to trade out Nemo right there. And now Exhilaration, once they get rid of Key Limes here, they can finally have some free carts push here and not really have to worry about Karma for a moment.
Yeah, that was a great job from Karma being able to take a minute and a half off the clock, build up a few ultimates here. Exhilaration swapped a few times, so they're only coming up on that amp matrix, but you know, I think Karma will just want a WM1 like they have been all night with this male to take the high ground, speed right in, but they are down 2 players still. They are opening up with the Bastion ult too, just I guess to clear a little bit of space before they walk in with this male.
Player, though, able to shut down No Way Around, so now no big shield here for Karma. It's going to be really interesting to see how they play around it. They try to throw out the Blizzard here just to, you know, wait for No Way Around to come back, and that's exactly what they do, and there's a lot of members in there. Panic, they're going to be able to find Sabi, but look how many people are frozen. 4 people, they're able to find Impact, but that's all they get right there. Nemo, though, able to shut down Player as they get unfrozen there. So the male basically doing its job there as just a stalling play so they can get No Way Around back in the fight.
Yeah, Karma did lose their Rhine really early, which is kind of a staple of this composition, but they were able to basically sustain it with the big freeze. But, you know, if I'm Karma and my Bastion is using that ult, I want to walk with that ultimate. I don't want to use it and then look to see what happens and then go in. I want to walk in as that Bastion was going, but they just kind of stood still and they lost their Rhine from it. Let's see if they learned from that mistake. They used the Shatter early, which is huge, but a beat does come out.
Yeah, Shatter finds 2, but the beat comes out, they immediately save everyone. Amp Matrix coming out here from Nulls, as the Artillery Strike coming out from Player, and the Rip Tire coming out from Panic. Panic will find 2 with their tire, and they find 2 big kills there. And you see 2 more huge kills come out there for Exhilaration. No Way Around now, trying just to charge themselves out of this fight. And maybe if Exhilaration gets 3 members on the cart, they might be able to cap point A here.
Yeah, Karma only invested a beat and a shatter there while Exhilaration used 4 ultimates. It was a special effects, like anime basically, in the fight there. Impact does have the Rampage, so as long as they can hit a big one. Oh, that's a big Bastion ult though. I don't think they should invest it really at all.
Panic in this backline, maybe trying to back cap, but with Nemo just sitting on the card, not going to be able to, and Nemo will be the person to take him out there. Nice kind of a stabilization there for Karma. Now only about 30 seconds left to go. Exhilaration is basically relying on this Rampage to win them this team fight.
Yeah, if I was Panic there, I would have just stayed under there and not shown it all. They even saw the BAP hit a right click, you know, use their little bio heal grenade from the high ground, but they didn't seem to notice it that much, and they walked right out in front of a BAP in a window. But
oh, Rampage does come out, does hit 3 there. They're immediately able to find Nemo the ice wall. A little bit too late there from Stop You. Panic able to find No Way Around, and now Exhilaration just need to kind of clean up this fight here because they do have the numbers advantage, and they're able to find Dougie. They're just trying to get rid of Key Limes. The Blizzard, though, coming out from Stop You does find 3 on cart. Key Limes able to find Player, the big source of damage out here for Exhilaration. Ice Block coming out from Stop You to try to stall on this cart a little bit longer. Somehow Key Limes is still alive on this point. You see some members of Karma coming back. Key Limes finally falls, but they did their job there as No Way Around and Nemo are back. No Way Around immediately able to find Panic there, and now you see more members of Karma coming back. Exhilaration looked very great at the start of this fight, but now with Karma coming back in greater numbers, they seem to be at odds ends here. Shatter comes out, immediately finds 1, make it 2 there as they find Null's nose. Now Players coming back, but no one for Exhilaration on the cart, and Karma will be able to hold Exhilaration before point A.
That's rough for Exhilaration. That Key Lime stall was absolutely massive. You know, we've seen this play before with Exhilaration on Colosseo, where they had their Lucio pushing the the robot away, being able to basically save the map for a few more minutes. That was basically what Karma just did there with Key Limes on the point, stalling it out for the rest of the team to come back. The Rein was 80% to shatter. As soon as that Rein gets that shatter, it's game over for Exhilaration because they don't have a shield to block it on their own. You know, Exhilaration, I think, played that very well. They just were missing a key feature, and that feature was killing the Lucio. That's just amping heals on point and jumping around like a little frog.
And you have to remember, that was one of the players that Karma's coach, Formless, said that we had to kind of be on a watch for tonight. Key Limes. They said they play a very aggressive Lucio when they do play a Lucio. And while, yeah, we've seen them be punished for being a little bit aggressive, that point right, or that hold right there kind of shows how good they are on the Lucio. They were able to basically dodge 3-4 members of Exhilaration by themselves there for a long time. Enough time for everyone on their team to get back.
Yeah, Karma has been out tempoing Exhilaration tonight, and it probably is because Key Lime is more than likely calling the shots of when they want to go in and pulling the team behind them. We do see Exhilaration trying to do that same spawn hold that Karma did. Let's see if they're able to do it more efficiently.
And you mean to see the ice wall come out there, but it doesn't stop anyone from coming out. Karma, though, coming out with a Symmetra here, but Panic able to find no way around early. However, that Symmetra beam high, but Panic going to be able to shut them down as well. Nemo trying to do whatever they can here. Impact very low, but again, it's Panic picking up 3 kills here early to stop this first Karma engagement, and you're immediately seeing some swaps coming out here.
Yeah, and on Karma's defense, it seemed like they definitely had practiced this a little bit more than Exhilaration. Exhilaration is just taking the fight at face value, just right in front of them, but Exhilaration is making the necessary swaps to potentially try to break this hold. Player almost goes down. It does force the immortality, but that's a big 3-man nade going in, but Capybara Man does find Nemo, which is huge.
Yeah, and you do see Stop You here trying to focus on Capybara Man, who also finds Key Lime, so I imagine was trying to get the res off there onto Nemo, but you do see Stop You finally find Capybara Man there. However, doing a good job here, already eating a minute off this time bank, and Karma not necessarily pushing the cart as much here, but Stop You able to find a huge pick there on a player, and now Exhilaration in a bad spot as they're in a very congested room and not a lot of stuff there to really do a lot of damage.
Yeah, if I'm Exhilaration, I just want to die on cart here as fast as I can. Try not to get staggered here, so that way I can go in the next fight with all my players and I can at least have maybe 1 or 2 more fights going into this last point. Exhilaration does have a beat and an M-Matrix coming up, but Karma has a copy, a nano, a barrage soon. Like, Karma's coming up on all their ults. You'd think Exhilaration being able to hold for a minute and a half would have more ultimates, but they do not. Exhilaration does swap over to the Echo without a Pharah, though, hoping to, or without a Mercy, I mean, hoping to take care of both the Karma's flyers, but they're just opening up with Nano Barrage. Huge immortality, though.
They're going to be able to show them down, but Exhilaration has to touch card. They're going to be able to do that. Stop You. Going to immediately duplicate here into the Reinhardt. However, they immediately get taken out of it. Bomb coming out here will only find players on that high ground. The image coming out from Capybara Man on that high ground as well. Panic going to be able to win the Echo duel there on to Stop You. And now no way around in a very bad spot. They're going to get D-Mech'd here as Stop You able to get res there by Key Limes. And Exhilaration actually doing the smart play here of leaving no way around alive as the Valkyrie comes out here from Key Limes.
Yeah, Karma burned all of their ultimates there, but Exhilaration still has theirs to come on and take these angles. They're trying to kill the baby D.Va. If they can get that baby before she gets back into mech, which they're not able to, they might be able to win this fight. D.Va is out of mech again, and player does open up by killing Nemo here.
90 seconds left to go here, and just Exhilaration keeping their hopes alive there. All the ultimates came out there for Karma, and you're seeing a lot of swaps come out again.
Yeah, this is a really good hold from Exhilaration. You definitely feel that Karma was on something that just seemed a little bit awkward for them, but they're swapping over to what they know, what's tried and true, that Reaper May Brawl comp. You know, if they can keep up with Key Lime's tempo, they're just going to WM1. They should be able to get rid of Exhilaration here. Bastion ult does come out, but doesn't find any.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to find someone. They're not able to do it that time. Panic still has a duplicate ready here. They're immediately going to duplicate here into the Reaper. Try to build up that Death Blossom here fast. They're already up to about 47% on it. And now they're actually going to be in a good spot here. Try and just get a lot of damage on No Way Around. Immediately find No Way Around. Here comes the Death Blossom. Finds one. Almost getting 2 there, but player will pick up Dougie Games there. And now Stop You. And Nemo in a very bad spot. Just going to fall there. 30 seconds on the clock for them. A team kill coming out. Karma close to a Blizzard here. And Exhilaration close to an amp and a shatter.
Yeah, that was a great ult usage, a great copy coming out from Panic there. Capybara does want a window here early, and it does come out. Try to just prevent them from touching. It might be a little bit early, though, because I think they'll still be able to come out as soon as the window goes down. but it looks like Impact might get the Shatter first, and if he can,
no way around, uses their Shatter, actually doesn't find anyone, and now Impact's gonna use their Shatter. It's gonna be huge, finds Nemo here, but there's someone on the cart right now for Exhilaration, but most of their team is down. It's Stop You and Dougie Gaming, they'll both fall. Exhilaration gonna be able to keep this series alive with a Circuit Royale win.
that was about as scrappy of an Overwatch map as it can get, but Exhilaration does end up pulling it out of the hat in last second. I think Karma, they could have stuck to something that they've known from the beginning instead of trying to counter the close hold with something that might be a little bit more unfamiliar with them. But it doesn't matter now as we go into our fourth map. Karma up 2-1, but Exhilaration able to finally sustain and get the foothold that they needed. And, you know, it's so far, Karma really just dominating right up until that defense and or right up until their offense there, and Exhilaration finally was able to turn it around.
And you have to remember, Karma came into a one engagement there with almost all 5 ultimates ready to go, and it really started with that nano barrage there, and they were really hoping to find, I believe it was Player on that Bastion on the high ground. However, the Immortality Field came out at the perfect time to keep them alive, and it was Player who actually found that nanoed Pharah who was barraging onto them there, and that kind of turned everything around there for Exhilaration, and they needed this map. However, if they want to win the series, they now have to go through 2 Karma map picks.
Yeah, that barrage was inspirational. I think if it does kill the Bastion there, they just take the point. But they didn't. When the Immortality came up, the barrage was still just looking at the Bastion. Didn't even like turn a little bit to look at the Immo. The Bastion could just in turret form burst down that Pharah with the Nano and the Mercy Pocket. Doesn't matter. Bastion just has so much damage output that ended up taking it, and I think that was really the turning point that Exhilaration really needed. But we are going into Antarctic Peninsula, another really fast brawl heavy map. You know, what do you expect to see coming out here, Dex?
I mean, I would expect to see Karma come back out on that brawl. It has worked really well for them all night, so why not go back to it? You got off it there a little bit, and while you were able to win a team fight to break the brawl that Exhilaration was running, you immediately, didn't find a lot of value with any of the ultimates you had when you made those swaps. You went back to the brawl, and you just never were able to get any momentum back going because Exhilaration finally figured out something against you guys. And now, heading into Antarctic Peninsula, I expect to see, like I said, a brawl come out for Karma, but for Exhilaration, I do expect to see a brawl come out from them as well. Like I said, I think they found something, and I think they have the momentum in this series now to kind of carry them through this map.
Yeah, if I'm Exhilaration, I'm definitely taking the tempo of that last map, and I'm going to try to shove it in the face of Karma here. You know, they got the foothold that they needed, and now they can start kind of pushing back against Karma's initiation. So it'll be interesting to see how both teams, I think they're both going to run their brawl. It's going to be interesting to see how both of them kind of adapt to each other's play style going into this next map.
Yeah, absolutely. And throughout this entire series all night, we've been kind of saying how similar these two teams really are. Both come into it 0-3, both looking for their first win. Both have only won one map before this series against Galactic Gibbons, and both teams actually are comprised of 4 players who are in, I believe it was the Harmony tier last year. So both squads here, a majority of their players, about 80% of them, rising up or ranking up here into the Discord tier. So these two teams are very similar in makeup here when you look at all the stats, and I would not be surprised if Exhilaration is able to pull this win out here on Antarctic Peninsula and send us to a map 5 because they're just that close.
Yeah, as I said at the beginning, both teams are going to be as equal as it comes, and it's really going to come down to how each team plays at the macro level, how they're playing together. We saw Exhilaration really relying on their DPS to get opening picks, but I think if they can clean up their macro, they won't need to rely on the DPS that much, and they'll be able to absorb Karma's impact and be able to just turn around like they did on their defense there on Circuit Royale.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to give some players like Panic and Player for Exhilaration a lot of credit. Player, the first 2 maps that were able to get the player of the game for both of them with their soldier in play. And I've talked about a lot. They looked really good on it. Fun fact about that was given to me by their coach, J-Star. Apparently, Player is a world-class fencer.
Ah, interesting.
So, yeah. So, they've been very pinpoint precision with some of their shots tonight. Fencing, you have to be very pinpoint precision with those strikes as well. So kind of carrying it over here into Overwatch. But, I mean, both these teams heading into this one, I mean, they know what's at stake here. Karma, you win this map. Hey, You have one win on the season. Exhilaration, you win this map. You're one map win away after this map, if you win it, from having your first win of the season.
Yeah, and if I'm Exhilaration, I'm looking for the reverse sweep here, obviously. But, you know, that would just be really big going into their next match next week. If they can come back from this reverse sweep, that's a big morale boost for the players and the team, you know, the coaches. And I think it'll set them up for a really strong week next week. But, you know, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a scrappy one. You know, these last few maps have just been kind of all over the place. And I don't think this one's going to be any different, to be honest.
Absolutely, but looks like someone in the lobby is having a little bit of a technical difficulty. So we're going to take a quick break and be right back with Map 4 of Antarctic Peninsula. All right, welcome back, everyone. Sorry for that break there. Looks like there was a little bit of a technical difficulty with one of the players on Exhilaration, and they had to find an emergency ringer. But everything is all sorted out now, and the teams are getting ready here. Delphi, after this long break here, I mean, we talked about it before, Exhilaration maybe had that momentum they've been looking for all night, but I feel like with this long break and with losing a player, I feel like all that momentum is kind of gone.
Yeah, it's almost like icing the kicker a little bit. If anyone is a big football head, you have all the momentum, you have the tempo set, everybody's super hype, and then you learn that you're losing a player, which really sucks, and you need to find an emergency ringer. Really stressful situation. Obviously, you don't want to lose a map because you can't field the player. That would be really bad. So, let's hope that Exhilaration can kind of turn from this and be able to keep that momentum going. But we do see their DPS player coming out for a new player, Master Shadow, and I think this could be a blessing or a curse. Obviously, new player coming in, you don't know if they're going to vibe with the team well, or potentially they could pick up where comms are falling off, or could just have a lot of pop-off potential, or could just play out of their mind out of nowhere. It could be a change they need, or it could be the nail in the coffin. It's going to be, I'm really anticipating to see which way it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And you did mention who Exhilaration was losing, and it's Player.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, Player has been probably one of the most consistent members of Exhilaration here tonight. They've been doing good on any DPS they've really shown us. So losing Player here, in my opinion, kind of hurts them a little bit. But we don't know how Master Shadow will do with Exhilaration. We're going to see it here on our first point here of Antarctic Peninsula.
Yeah, and we were talking about this before. Really big brawl map going into this, and just off the bat, just off the bat here, we've got the two Rhines, the two Mays. We got a Bastion and a Reaper, and a Lucios and Baps. So almost a mirror. Except we have the Bastion and the Reaper. Karma will want to pretty much go first. Exhilaration will kind of want to play off the Bastion. Karma, they should realistically just kind of play their distance until the Bastion uses his form and then just walk right in. Exhilaration, Master Shadow is really going to have to hold that form for when Karma wants to take their space. But here we go, going right into Antarctic here.
Yeah, and you immediately see Master Shadow here taking a little bit of a flanking route away from their team, and it actually looks like now they're going to join him here. But Master Shadow, I mean, you kind of have to be there for Exhilaration, mostly because you're really there to do a lot of damage and melt down the shield here for no way around. And you immediately see both Ice Walls come out and Immortality Fields are both sides. Capybara Man's immediately gets taken out there by Stop You. A nice Fire Strike coming in there, but it'll be Nemo finding Capybara Man to get everything started here on Antarctic Peninsula. And now Exhilaration kind of on the back foot here without basically their main source of healing.
Yeah, this is exactly how Colosseo opened up. Nemo does get a headshot on the Capybara Man. That's exactly how Colosseo started, and if that is any indication of how the rest of this map is going to go, it looks like it's going to go in the favor of Karma. But Exhilaration, they have that Bastion. They're a little bit closer to Shatter here, so if they can play off of their Shatter and they can use that Bastion form efficiently, I think they'll be able to turn it with a simple fight here.
Yeah, but this is the first time all night that we're seeing two Rhines, so a good opportunity for either Rhine to block a Shatter here. But panic finding key lamps early is huge for Exhilaration. Now they can really try to pressure Karma here a little bit. Both Rhines charging into each other here to stun themselves out here, but Nemo getting that Blizzard ready, and you immediately see it coming out here. Ant Matrix coming out from, I thought I heard an Ant Matrix come out, but no, it's Nemo picking up 3 kills. Dougie Gaming picking up the final 2 there, and Null will knock themselves off the map there for another reset here for Exhilaration.
Yeah, Nemo is just putting Karma on their back and saying, don't worry guys, I'm going to run us up this hill and I'm going to get us there really quick with my ultimate. So Karma really only investing 1 ult there. Exhilaration didn't invest any. I don't think they found the opportunity to, but you'll see if they're able to get a big Shatter here. But
I mean, they do find Master Shadow there as Impact responds with a Shadow of their own. Does find 2, and they're immediately able to find Stop You off of that there. So no Death Blossom ready for Karma in this engagement. And if you're Exhilaration, push the fight now. You have a little bit of an advantage, but that Ant Matrix coming out from Dougie Gaming kind of slow them down now. The Artillery Strike coming out here from Master Shadow. They do find Key Limes. That's a huge pick for them as they're very close to a beat. Now if Exhilaration can get rid of another hero here, especially if it's no way around, that's exactly who they find. They have a great advantage here. Stop You though coming in maybe want to use that Blossom here, but get a smartly thing against it and just try to back themselves out of this engagement.
Yeah, it looks like Nemo and Stoppy are doing a good job of staggering themselves here, but it doesn't really matter because this is Exhilaration's first cap. Exhilaration did really well there, only investing the Bastion ult to win that fight and the Shatter pre-fight as well, but you know, they have 3 ults coming into this, which is huge. They could have easily invested 1 or 2 more just out of panic in order to win that fight, but they didn't. So now they're going in with the Mei ult. They have the beat, they have the Amp Matrix, and it looks like they are initiating with the freeze and the Amp Matrix to see if they can pick up a few kills to start.
Captures 2 there, but the beat saving them all there. Stoppy does pop the Death Blossom. You're not going to be able to find anything other than Immortality Field. Master Shadow going to be able to find Stoppy, but immediately traded out there by Nemo. Each team kind of even on playing field terms right now. Shadow does come out from nowhere around, hits 2, but you do see Knowles pop their beat there to keep everyone alive. Blizzard now coming out from Nemo, and almost everyone will be captured. It's going to be 3 members of Exhilaration being frozen here. 2 immediately taking out Capybara Man, able to keep themselves alive. So is Panic right now, but Exhilaration at this moment trying just to stagger and stall out on this point as long as they can, but eventually Nemo will end Panic there and retake the point.
Yeah, that was a really scrappy fight, but Karma was just pressing the attack. They seemed a little bit more grouped together. Exhilaration just backed up and they all separated, so it was how Karma was just able to pick them off kind of one by one going into that.
Shatter coming out, hits all 5 members of Karma, but Exhilaration has to play for a point right now. They find 2 kills, they're able to get a touch here on point, but Ducky gonna be able to find Master. However, every other kill going the way of Exhilaration at the moment, but they just have to clean up Karma at the moment. Key Limes and Stoppy right there. Key Limes will fall. Stoppy now on point, nowhere near a Death Blossom here, but they're still gonna try to engage on a wait for their teammates to come back. Panic will be able to take him out, and now Karma might try to play this a little bit slow, wait for everyone to regroup.
Yeah, you know, Exhilaration is going to be really happy about winning that fight, but, you know, Panic being on that far is an interesting pick. You know, they have nothing to counter it, but also Exhilaration doesn't have any heals that can reliably heal up Panic if they take too much poke, or, you know, a Mei body shot and a Mei headshot with her right click will just kill that Pharah right out of the air, and we've seen Nemo hit those already, so it wouldn't surprise me. They also put Stop You on that Soldier, which did shut down the Pharah on Eichenwaldt, so, you know, Exhilaration pulling out all the stops to slow down Panic here.
Able to find one with that artillery barrage there. Nemo able to find Panic to kind of even stuff out here, but Exhilaration now in the driver's seat. Immortality Field down and out for Exhilaration. Karma has to start considering playing for the point. Master Shadow able to take care of no way around, but it would mean to trade out there on the Capybara Man. And now Karma, you know, a little bit of the advantage. So have both their supports. Master Shadow very low on health. The beat comes out, not able to get Master Shadow in time. Key Lime's gonna be able to find them here. Karma trying now to clean up this fight, but Knowles able to find Nemo with a huge pick there. Trying to do all that they can do. Healing as well as impact is very key in this fight. However, they're gonna get charged out there. Actually, they get stopped out there. Shadows come out from impact. They fight Key Limes with no way around. Immediately training out there onto the other Reinhardt. And now Karma back in control of the point, but you still do see some members of Exhilaration trying to stagger out. Capybara Man, though, eventually gonna fall as well. Knowles finally falls. And now Master Shadow coming back, but not gonna be back in time. Karma going to be able to take the first point here.
That's so rough for Exhilaration. Just yet another situation where they're not able to clean up after the fight, and Karma just has players on the point that are stalling out. I think this comes down to kind of target priority and focusing the same targets. In Overwatch, we see some people just get hung up on what's right in front of them and they ignore comms, or they think, oh, everybody else will look at this player that's being called and I can keep taking my 1v1. But if everybody on the team is doing that, then you're not going to have anybody that's kind of looking at the same target there. And Karma did a great job of playing their lives as best they can, rotating their cooldowns to survive, and they end up taking the point.
Absolutely. Now Exhilaration has to win these final 2 sub points here to try to force a map 5, but first they have to win this one here. And no big subs or swaps coming out here from either side. Each team pretty confident with the comps they started out with on last point.
Yeah, it's going to be another scrappy brawl right in point here. But Nemo is caught out with their ice block early. They are able to make it back to the team, and impact going low. But you know, I think Karma's doing a great job of stabilizing both teams, kind of still full up. They're going to have their cooldowns by the time they meet face-to-face again.
We're just playing Ring Around the Rosie right now here. Karma almost able to cap point first. It looks like Exhilaration's now going to be able to, as Karma wanted to go for the team fight there rather than 4 point. Ice Wall coming out there a little bit too late to save, or to section off anyone there for Karma now, but Now you see Ice Block coming out there from Panic. Immortality Field already out here for Karma. Exhilaration, you know, a little bit has the advantage at the moment. No way around trying to get rid of Panic there, but they're not going to be able to find him there as they're going to be healed up good by Knowles and Capybara. However, Mass Shadow first with a fall. Shadow does come out from Impact, but I don't believe it lands on anyone. Amp Matrix coming out here from Dougie, and that might be all they need here to retake the point.
Yeah, that was a great block by No Way Around. They did have a low shield, so it was kind of a little, like it was almost a huge shatter, but No Way Around had just enough shield, put it up right at the exact time, and Impact had 0 impact with that shatter. But Exhilaration is coming out with 4 ultimates. Karma did use the Amp Matrix, but they have 4 of their own, so this is going to be another just scrappy fight. It's going to be whoever gets the entry pick, I think, will be able to turn this, and hopefully neither team invests too much into turning this fight.
Damage coming out here from Capybara. Shatter comes out, but immediately denied there by Impact. And you see Master Shadow pick up 2 kills there. Impact finding 2 more. And now Exhilaration could be able to quickly retake the point here. Nemo does build up their Blizzard, but not going to use it there smartly.
Yeah, that was a great quick cleanup from Exhilaration. That's exactly what they needed. You could see they kind of cleaned up their target focus a little bit, and there was nobody that was stalling for a super long time. Obviously, Nemo did with that cryo freeze from Mei, but you know, that's to be expected. But Exhilaration probably very happy that they were able to take that fight super quick, only with an investment of the Amp Matrix.
Yeah, now you're looking at both sides having their DPS ultimates ready to go. Blizzard coming out from both sides. No Way Around immediately able to find Knowles. Capybara Man out as well. And now Karma looking to be really good. Already finding 3. About to make it 4 there. Panic able to find Nemo. They'll eventually be taken out by a hammer swing from No Way Around.
Yeah, Nemo went low ground. I'm not sure if you saw it. Everybody else went high, but Nemo went low ground, which got them really close to Exhilaration's core, which is basically holding right at the stairs. And it was just a huge Blizzard. I think ended up getting 3. Exhilaration did answer with a Blizzard of their own. Sometimes if your team's getting frozen, the best thing you can do is freeze the enemy team as well, but it didn't really matter much because No Way Around was just able to go right through and clean up a lot of the squishies in the back line.
Artillery coming out there, won't find anything. Shatter comes out from both Rhines, but it's No Way Around one who finds them, who finds more value. Trades coming out here from either side, 1 for DPS, 1 for support. No Way Around falls, Master Shadow falls right there to stop you, who's still holding on to this Death Blossom here, and is kind of walled off from the rest of the team. Death Blossom comes out somehow. They won't find anyone there, but they're able to keep themselves alive because of an Ice Block now coming out here from Nemo on point. Again, they're just trying to stall out on point for a little bit here, maybe wait for some of the teammates to come back. Capybara Man able to find Keyline, so as you see both support ults coming out here from Exhilaration. Impact though falls here. That's not what you want to see if your Exhilaration stop you though eventually does lose their life there. However, they did what they needed to do. They stalled out and had allowed their teammates to come back.
Yeah, these fights are about as clumsy as they get. It really can go either way. Like, we see Exhilaration come in and get a few picks, then Karma is able to stall out enough to get a few people back, and Exhilaration loses a few, but then their Bastion, their Echo comes back super quick, ends up getting more picks. It's really hard to determine which team is going to come out on top in the middle of these fights because it's just so back and forth, and I think both teams are just playing their lives really well and playing the stall extremely well.
This Blizzard from Nemo has to be huge here for Karma if they want to end this series here and now. Blizzard coming out, but it looks like everyone for Exhilaration besides Impact and Knowles is able to get out. They're able to find Knowles there. That's a huge pick for Karma, but you immediately see the duplicate come out there on the or Panic duplicating here into Reaper. They've done it before and been able to find some success with it. Impact though immediately trades out Nemo there. No Way Around get rid of that duplication, and Stop You takes care of Panic there. And now we're in final fight territory no matter what. Charge coming out there from No Way Around is questionable, but the Amp Matrix coming out as well as the Mortar Strike from Master Shadow. Impact able to find Stop You there. Each team just looking for something. Shatter comes out, finds 2. Knowles just coming back to the fight and immediately gets taken out, but you see Shadow right there pumping a lot of damage into that shield. Now you see Key Limes being very aggressive on the Lucio. That's kind of what they're known for. Impact gonna be able to find them there. Nemo building up a Blizzard on point, not gonna be able to. No Way Around. Nemo Key all out. Exhilaration looking to try to find a couple more picks here to end this map and force a winner take all map 3.
Yeah, these fights are absolutely big from Exhilaration. They had their Capybara Man sitting on that back high ground, just uncontested, right-clicking the feet of their Reinhardt, being able to keep them up through that fight. It was absolutely wild. Like, these fights are just so back and forth. Both teams are just, you know, head first into each other. Karma kind of opened up with that same Mei ice play again, that same freeze play where they send the Mei low ground, get really close as the rest of the team is amping in. You can tell that that's definitely practiced. You know, that definitely seems regimented, and they were able to get value from it, but Exhilaration kind of anticipated it that time. Only one person went down from it.
But now we head to the final point here. Remember, both points so far have been 99 to 99 and or 100 to 99. So they have both been very close. Exhilaration, even with Master Shadow coming in here as this late sub, has looked very well and has done a very good job on the Bastion.
Yeah, big early wall coming out from Nemo there, but they're not going to be able to follow up from it. They're good job from Karma being able to wait that Bastion form, and now they're going to start initiating, walking right into the core of Karma.
Immortality Field's coming out from both sides. No one falls. There's still a lot of fight going on this high ground, but Panic, though, will be able to find Stop You. Both Ryans, again, charging into each other here as Exhilaration trying to cap point first here again as one member is playing point. I believe it would probably be, I think it was Panic down there, but you see Master Shadow there take care, no way around. And if you're Karma, you're trying to maybe get out of this engagement once you lose your tank.
Yeah, it looked like Karma was really tracking that Master Shadow tank form really well, but they just couldn't clean up fast enough. That tank form only has a 10-second cooldown, so as soon as it's up, you really need to clean up really quick. But if the Bastion kind of gets away, it's kind of game over because that Bastion can take a little bit of an off angle, maybe go on that middle catwalk and just beam down the enemy tank and force cooldowns, force immortality, force the Rein shield, and Rein really can't do anything at that point.
Yeah, look at Stop You right now. Only 27% on their ultimate, kind of lagging behind everyone else in the lobby at the moment. Nice ice wall there from Panic, and the Fire Strike able to find a lot of value as well. A lot of ultimates coming online for Exhilaration. The Blizzard and the Barrage coming out from Exhilaration could be deadly, and you already see one kill come from it, and they're looking for more. Panic will find Stop You as well. And if you're Exhilaration, hold on to all these other ultimates, because right now you are building up a good lead, and you still have 3 ultimates.
Yeah, Exhilaration is playing this extremely well. You know, this seems like a completely different team from the last 2 points and the rest of the match. You know, they're taking the initiation, they're going in with the Blizz, they're going in with the Bastion ult, and they're just wanting to take these fights super quick before Karma can even exit that room. So unless Karma makes an adaptation, I think Exhilaration will be able to just win these. And it does look like Karma is taking the high ground, but that doesn't necessarily favor them. It does get them out of the room, but I think Karma still has the advantage in terms of positioning.
Shatter and Blizzard comes out. The Shatter doesn't find anything, but it's actually the Blizzard that's the one that's more impactful here. Shatter also did come out from Impact, but doesn't find anything there, and now Karma looking very good for the first time so far at this point. Capybara Man able to take care of no way around, but there eventually Karma will find the last 2 members of Exhilaration to take the point, with Exhilaration only getting 96%.
Yeah, that was really well done by Karma, but they did invest 3 ultimates in to win that. Exhilaration only used the window. I think they used the Shatter as well, but they're going to be coming up back onto their DPS ults, and they can have a beat to engage or just to sustain if they need to. You know, it does seem like Exhilaration will have the tools to kind of take this. It's an early wall. Leaves their Rein hung out, but I think there's enough sustain to keep them up.
Yeah, but you do see a lot of pressure coming out, a lot of damage as well. Beat coming out from Knowles to make sure everyone stays alive through that no way around, charging themselves out of that one. Here comes the Death Blossom. This could be deadly. They find 1, 2, 3, make it 4!
You know, you were talking earlier about, you know, Stop You not being close enough to the ult. That seems kind of off character for Stop You. We've seen Stop You be doing so much work throughout the night, and there it is, finally able to put the team back onto his back and say, Nemo, you can take a break. I'm sure your legs are tired. Let me clean this one up for you. And, you know, Stop You doing Stop You things, just spinning and winning.
And honestly, they needed that ultimate. They needed that fight win right there, because look at the ultimates now. Kind of even it out there, no way around, really close to a Shatter here. And that could be something that kind of gets worded of a lot of times. Shatter does come out here. It only finds Capybara Man, but they're able to find Panic before that, which might slow down this fight here a little bit. Keylime's able to find Capybara Man right back, but Keylime's immediately gets kicked out right after that. Master Shadow not able to find anything with that artillery strike there, and no way around, able to charge Knowles. The Shadow though coming out from Impact finds 3, and they find those 3, make it 4 for the Reinhardt for Exhilaration.
That was absolutely huge from Impact. They only had Master Shadow and Impact up, able to live that fight. They didn't have any supports, but they invested the Shatter. They saw an opportunity, killed a bunch, able to take back point, and they're going to take the map. That was huge. if I'm a Rein there, I'm a little hesitant on my Shatter because it's like they have 4, we have 2. I don't know if I take this fight, but you know, they were kind of backed up into a corner. They needed to. They did it, and they end up winning the map because of it. That was a huge play from Impact.
Yeah, and honestly, Exhilaration, even with those. Well, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I was gonna say Karma. Even with the essentially 4-man Death Blossom there, and I kind of thought they were really stabilizing it, coming into their own, and they were starting to take control of the map. Exhilaration played it perfectly. They allowed one member of their team to fall, not probably what they wanted, but once they got that Shatter up from Impact, it kind of flipped that entire fight on its head, and all they really needed to do was cap point. And sadly, Key Limes was the last one left alive there to try to stall out on point, which you have seen him do in the past, but not on a control point map.
Yeah, I think when No Way Around went into that room to try to clean up the Bastion and the Reinhardt of Exhilaration, he went a little bit too deep, leaving the rest of his team out there. They weren't really ult tracking that the Rein had a Shatter coming up, and you know, Impact just kind of threw it on the ground and picked up 3 and turned the map. That was a map winning play. And I think Exhilaration still has the momentum that they had from winning Circuit Royale. They still have, you know, the eye of the tiger, so to speak. They're really pushing for this map win. And we are going to a map 5. It doesn't get more exciting than this, folks. You know, Karma has kind of been really not dominating, but winning a lot of the fights. Exhilaration is just able to scrappy brawl it back. You know, the gloves are coming off, they're taping up the knuckles, and they're throwing a bunch of scrappy punches, and Karma just doesn't really have an answer for it. So it looks like we are going to be headed into New Queen Street. You know, not really everybody's favorite push map, but again, we saw this with Circuit Royale. They're picking maps that maybe aren't everybody's favorites, but it's probably maps that people aren't practicing, so it might end up working into Karma's favor.
And again, you have to remember how close these teams are, just in everything. Record 0-3, both looking for their first map, both looking for the first win on the season. Both had only won 1 map going into this game, and they both won that against Galactic Gibbons. Both have 4 players that were in the Harmony tier last season and are now in the Discord tier this season. And the list can just go on and on. Karma winning the first 2 maps, Exhilaration winning the next 2. I mean, this has been a very back and forth series here, and we've been saying it all series, like, hey, if Exhilaration was able to do this, they could have easily won that last map, but Karma was always just able to find a way to beat them. But now we're heading into the winner-take-all map 5 here, and what a great way to end week 4 here for Trank.
Yeah, this is absolutely like a really, really great map or match to watch, rather. It's about as close as it gets. Karma has had the slight edge, but that doesn't mean anything to Exhilaration. They don't care. They're not looking at previous maps now. They're just focusing on what's happening in the now, and that's how they were able to figure out the last 2 maps. But we are headed into New Queen Street. I think we're going to see both teams running that Brawl. Exhilaration running that Bastion, Karma running that Reaper. I think this map favors the Bastion a little bit more, a little bit longer sight lines, and we also see Panic on the Echo. This might be an interesting pick. We've seen them pull that out before in stall scenarios, so maybe they'll want to run it. There's a little bit of a bigger sky box here, so maybe they'll keep Panic on the Echo, or we could just be getting trolled like we have been at the start of previous rounds.
I mean, Panic, yeah, like you said, Panic has played Echo a little bit here, but Karma actually going back to that Zarya comp they started this series with. We saw them play it last time on a push map on Colosseo, and it worked out really well for them, and Exhilaration really had no good response to it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Exhilaration reacts to that that Zarya. Like I said, if Zarya used the bubble, just hold shield, don't shoot it, and you don't get any value. Just like now, they're able to hold this space and forcing all of Karma into that tiny hole, which is not where you want to be against a Reinhardt. It's just 1 or 2 doors to come out of there, and your Rein just swings on 6 people. I'm sorry, 5 people. I forgot they removed someone for a second.
No way around, though. Able to find Panic, which is a great pick here for Karma early. But as long as that Master Shadow is right there alive and able to pump in a lot of damage, they are not in the best situation. They're Safi, though, able to shut down Master Shadow. And now Impact getting very low. The Immortality Field having to come out here from Capybara Man to keep them alive. But now you see No Way Around focusing their sight there on Capybara Man. Impact, though, will get the charge there on to No Way Around. However, Stop You going to be able to clean up Impact and Capybara.
I think that charge kills No Way Around if they don't kill Impact that quick, but they ended up getting the kill on Impact, so No Way Around gets to keep their charge. But, oh, that's a huge pick from Master Shadow, getting Dougie Gaming early. Exhilaration should be able to just walk right into this and win this fight. They don't have a Baptiste, they don't have Immortality, they don't have a ton of heals. They should be able to just walk, and it looks like actually Karma's just going to back up, make sure they don't stagger themselves and give the space. Let Exhilaration push it just a little bit while they wait for their Bap to come back.
Yeah, and the main reason that Dougie Gaming fell there was because Panic was up on that high ground in the air, just raining some shots down on them, and a nade coming in from Master Shadow, able to clean them up there. Now you see Stop You coming back in here, getting very aggressive, going after Master Shadow again. That biggest target there for Exhilaration is probably the target they want to be looking for. Now, eyes up to the sky, trying to take care of Panic. Not going to be able to there, but they do lose their own tank. The Shadow does come out from Impact. It hits two there. The beat coming up from Key Limes going to keep everyone alive. Nemo going to shut down the air support there of Panic for Exhilaration. And now Karma trying to get back in this one and just make, as you see them make a swap here to a Rhino of their own. Amp Matrix coming out from both sides. It looks like each side just going to try to respect them as best they can.
It's interesting they swapped over to that Ryan. It's not like the Zarya wasn't getting any value, but maybe they felt like they couldn't pressure the front line as much. Big freeze coming out from Nemo, but you know, we still have Capybara Man up, able to keep everybody up, but it doesn't really matter. They do invest the copy here. It makes you wonder if they're just going to swap Panic. They used the copy on a lost fight.
Yeah, I mean, the Blizzard there was huge. Final 3, you did see the Immortality Field come out there from Capybara Man, but again, once that Immortality Field was gone, you saw just no way around. Take 3 hammer swings, take care of 3 members of Exhilaration, and now Karma back in control of pushing the barrier, extending their lead here, and still coming up on a decent amount of ultimates.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Karma opens this up, or if they're just going to back off because they hear the Bastion ult. Key Limes goes down. They have no escape. You know, Null's just going to amp right in to force the team back, and they should be able to clean this up, but they do find Panic. Doesn't matter, though. It looks like they're going to clean this up. They're just going to back up, give it a little bit of space, and let Exhilaration take the bot just a little bit farther. They still don't have the lead.
Yeah, not for long here, but Capybara Man finding Stop You out there is huge because we have seen them be very aggressive on that Reaper going after Master Shadow, and they do have a Death Blossom ready to go, but Null's going to immediately cancel that out with a beat here, try to keep everyone alive. But Master Shadow taken out here early. Shadow coming out, hits 3 members of Exhilaration, and all 3 members being sent back to their spawn. You do see No Way Around get trapped here as Panic now last one alive, but falling down onto this side of the street, not the way they probably wanted to go.
Yeah, they do get the stagger onto Dougie Gaming though, which could be big because again, Exhilaration can just kind of walk right in here. But you know, I've noticed something about Karma is that every time they invest in ult, like a Freeze or a Blossom or a Shatter, they get more than just one. They end up getting maybe 2 or 3 in each one. So it's gonna be interesting to see if Stop You is able to kind of repeat the pattern, but it's not gonna matter if Nemo goes down early. Karma's just going to be forced to back up yet again. They really need to display their lives when Exhilaration starts coming in, but every time that Exhilaration started walking in, they've been able to pick off, whether it's a support or a DPS, but they're able to pick somebody off early, just give Exhilaration all the room that they need again.
Yeah, but you look at Karma right now, 3 ultimates ready to go, about to be 4. Exhilaration has been able to build up their ultimates because Karma has really not used any of their Amp Matrix coming out and immediately be able to find No Way Around there. Here comes a tire from Panic. They've been able to get a couple with these in the past. Still looking for someone, not going to be able to find anyone with it though, but Stop You, Nemo, having those 2 ultimates, now they give up the lead. They also give forward spawns to Exhilaration.
If I'm Exhilaration, I don't know if I use the tire there. You know, the Ryan is down, they can't walk. The fight's pretty much cleaned up because they're giving all the space. You can push cart for free at that point, but they invest the tire anyways, don't get any value for it. Imagine if they had it right now. If Panic didn't die and they were able to tire this mid-fight, I think they would have been able to win here.
Well, I think they used the tire mostly just to get Karma off the point, and they got forward spawns off it, so it ended up working out for them. Beat came out, though, from Knowles here, so Stop You maybe has this free Blossom they've been kind of waiting for here, but a couple ultimates came out there from Karma, the Overclock, I mean, the Beat and the Amp Matrix coming out. Dougie Gaming, though, picking up a couple kills here, and now, if you're No Way Around, you have to be very careful here. You're kind of a little bit of ways from your team here. And Stop You, though, able to find Panic is a huge pick.
Yeah, they were really looking for that stagger on the Panic, and they ended up getting it. Panic is not going to be able to get a close spawn But I think Panic will still be back in time for this fight to start. Master Shadow opening up again with that Bastion ult. It's been able to find a few early before, but it doesn't really matter because Stop You goes in with the Blossom, does find Master Shadow, and I think that's the pick they needed to kind of walk in.
Shadow comes out from no way around, but it does do enough to get rid of the shield there for Impact. They're going to be able to find Knowles on the charge there. And now Karma picking up kills here, cleaning up this team fight. Going to be able to get the lead off of this as well.
Yeah, Karma's going to have another freeze. Nemo going to probably hide. Nemo's been doing this a lot on the Mei, where they either get really close or they hide maybe behind a corner, wait for the team to come into them, and then hit a freeze and get 3 or 4 in it. So it's going to be interesting to see. You definitely know that they're going to want to initiate with that, but not if things are cooldowns are forced out early because Panic is on this high ground.
Blizzard coming out right now, does capture 2. Impact Shadow in that one. Shadow immediately falls, then so does Impact. But you see Panic now back capping it here, putting a lot of damage into Stop You as well. But you do see No Way Around come back to stop Panic from doing what they were doing there. And now Karma back in control of this bot. 3 minutes left to go, and they've just extended their lead to over 20 meters.
Yeah, Karma did lose Dougie Gaming though, so they're probably going to push a little bit, but just back right on out, wait for their Baptiste to come back. Exhilaration is going to be able to get a little bit of progress, or at least push it back. But Karma does have an Ant Matrix, so they might just put it right down this this long pathway and see if they can get the fight.
Shadow coming out from Impact does not find anyone there. Tire and Ant Matrix coming out here from Exhilaration, trying to find whatever they can. The Tire will find 2 this time. Panic, that might be all they need to win this team fight. Knowles finds Stop You there. Nemo out as well. And it's all Key Limes by themselves, and eventually Impact will take them out. It's a team kill, and Exhilaration is going to be able to reset the spawns off of that.
Yeah, that's another heavy investment, though, just to win that fight. They use the Ant Matrix, they use the Shatter, they use the Rip Tire. That's a lot. They really only have a beat, and they're going to have another Bastion ult coming up, but Karma's coming in with an Ant Matrix of their own. They're coming up with a beat, and they have a Shatter as well as the Reaper ult. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Exhilaration just tries to take a dry fight here and force out ults, but not if Panic's going to pick off Nemo on the side. That's an absolutely huge pick to start with.
Beat coming out from Knowles here. You see 2 more kills go Exhilaration's right after that. And I have to question the 2 ultimates coming out there from Karma. The Ant Matrix and the Beat came out a little bit too early, in my opinion. You only needed to use 1. I don't understand why the Beat was invested after that. And now you're allowing Exhilaration to cut into your lead a little bit here with about 90 seconds left to go.
Yeah, Exhilaration played that really well. They used the Ant Matrix, they used the Beat. All they had to do was just sustain and wait it out like they did. And they went in with their own Beat, and just that's all they needed to walk in and clean that up. Starting out with the Bastion ult again, isn't able to pick
Shatter.
any, and Panic does fall here.
Shatter comes out though from No Way Around, doesn't find anything, but the Death Blossom finds one. The Blizzard coming out as well will do enough here to force everyone for Exhilaration to go back. Stop You, take care of Capybara Man there. And now with only about a minute to go, Karma using all the ultimates they had at their disposal there to reset spawns, but Exhilaration coming up on a lot of their own.
Yeah, this is not looking too great for Karma here, because they did invest so many win conditions. They invested the freeze, they invested the Blossom and the Shatter. They're not going to have any ults going into this, and it's potentially last fight territory. Exhilaration just going to use the window to make a little bit of space and force them back. And remember, Exhilaration needs to basically win those. Karma can play the time though, because they have the lead, but Exhilaration is not far off. So if I'm Karma, I need to win this fight. It doesn't matter if we have the lead, you need to win the fight anyways.
Huge pick coming out on the Stop You right now. Under 30 seconds left to go. Tire coming out from Panic. It finds 2 again. Master Shadow finds Nemo there right now. And now, if you're Karma, you're trying to get yourself out of this one. Dougie Gaming going to be able to dodge the charging Ryan there, but not going to be able to jump their way out of this one. Less than 15 seconds to go here, and Exhilaration back has the forward spawns back.
We knew this was going to be a close match, and it does not get much closer than this. Both carts are nearly at the same spot. Exhilaration has the Shatter coming out. Huge Shatter coming out. This should seal the deal for Exhilaration.
Nemo not having a Blizzard in time will not be able to stop it here. Dougie Gaming coming back, doing whatever they can, but Exhilaration, after dropping the first 2 maps, are able to reverse sweep Karma here to find their first win of the season.
Beep beep, we have ourselves a reverse sweep from Exhilaration. These teams were as evenly matched as it gets. It doesn't get any closer. Karma did look like they were dominating for a while there to begin with, but Exhilaration just seemed to have an answer to a lot of the problems, and they, frankly, at the end here, they definitely utilized their ultimates a little bit better. They were able to come into that last fight with a bigger ult bank, and I think that pretty much sealed the deal for Karma. Exhilaration winning on top 3-2.
Yeah, and you kind of hit it there, hit the nail on the head there with talking about ultimates there, because it was really Karma over-investing into taking the bot back from Exhilaration there with about 90 seconds left to go. They did not need to use the Blizzard and the Death Blossom there in the same fight. They also used the Shatter at the same time. 3 ultimates that could basically win you a team fight on their own, all into one engagement where you only really did find 3 kills off of them. You did find the 2 kills after it, but you just allowed Exhilaration, who were very close to ultimates coming up on that, to easily take back the bot and have enough utility left to push it all the way they need to do to win the map.
Yeah, I think the first 2 maps and even the first defense of Circuit Royale, Karma just seemed to play the macro so much better, but Exhilaration got the momentum they needed by holding much better on Circuit than Karma was, and then they used the last 2 maps to just basically keep that momentum going. They did have that emergency sub as well. It did go a little bit over the 3 minutes, so as per Trank rules, they Karma could have enforced the rule that you go over your 3 minutes and you forfeit the map. And as much as this is that would be a terrible stream for production and wouldn't be very exciting for us, they allowed Exhilaration to find a ringer, and that one's coming back to bite them a little bit because they ended up losing the match. They could have hit them with the rulebook, which honestly, props for Karma for not hitting the rulebook, because we got a really great match out of it, and it was really exciting to cast it today.
Yeah, absolutely. Week 4 of Trank ending here on a high note. B stream, Louisiana Lobsters taking care of Galactic Gibbons 3-1. A stream, a reverse sweep, Exhilaration picking up their first win of the season over Karma, who is going to try to bounce back next week and find their first win as well. But this was, like you said, an incredible series. Karma on those first 2 maps looked incredible. Exhilaration couldn't figure them out, and I feel like once Exhilaration played the brawl, they figured something out and slowly built upon it over those last 3 maps to put together what we saw.
Yeah, they lost player right before they kind of got that momentum for the last 2 maps there, but it seems like their emergency ringer ended up working out really well. They synergized with the team well enough. They listened. They were able to trust this new player to listen to the comms, and it ended up working in the favor of Exhilaration. What a match. This was absolutely awesome to watch, and I hope everybody else in chat really enjoyed that ending there. It doesn't get any closer than that.
Absolutely, it does not. Want to give a quick shout out to everyone who helped us put this on tonight. Hippie, Unfeatured, and Poofa. They all did a great job getting all the shots that you guys saw throughout the night. Delphi, I want to thank you for being my co-cast tonight. You were great, man. And thank you to everyone who came out. I know we got rated by the B stream there at the end of it. I believe I saw over 100 people at a point, so it's always great to see that. But we had a hell of a series here on the A stream. That will do it for us here in week 4 for Tranquility. Week 5 starts on Monday. I hope to see you all then.